Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory going to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua by Hashem Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstones. Salutations to you alchemists out there pushing this truth with all honesty and sincerity. Going back to the names, Yahweh, okay, which is the Heavenly Father name, which means He is, He exists. The Son name is Yahweh Shah, which means He is Savior, He is Deliverer, okay. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites. This is your brother Nayap, and I'm back with another one. This is going to be the news. I'm going to go straight into it. I'm not going to pull up any scriptures or anything. I think I'm going to save it for me to do like news articles and stuff like that. I kind of just want to push out this news. So let's go ahead and get into it, man. I got about 10 videos, all right? Here go the first one.
She must be scared. Look at this. She is on some shit. What the f is going on? Look at this. She been chasing her all down 7 Mile, bro. I told y'all this is dangerous, man. I told y'all, look. Look. Y'all better go help her, please. Help her, please. He been chasing this all down 7 Mile, bro.
The Pentagon has confirmed that North Korea is sending thousands of troops to Russia in what Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin calls a very, very serious escalation. And Ukraine's president believes he knows exactly where those troops are ultimately heading. CBS's chief foreign affairs correspondent Margaret Brennan has the story.
Video released by the Ukrainian government shows North Korean troops receiving military gear in Russia. CBS cannot independently verify the footage, but today, Defense Secretary Austin confirmed that Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un have their troops training side by side at 3 specialized military sites inside of Russia.
There is evidence that there are DPRK troops in Russia.
Ukrainian President Zelensky warned him that Russia may send those forces to Ukraine, proving Putin seeks to escalate, not negotiate. And South Korean officials say the number may soon climb to 10,000, revealing that Russia is already training 3,000 North Korean special forces how to operate equipment, including drones. U.S. officials said the North Korean soldiers traveled in mid-October by ship from North Korea to eastern Russia and could end up on the battlefield.
If Russia is indeed forced to turn to North Korea for manpower, this would be a sign of weakness, not strength, on the part of the Kremlin.
Russia has already lost roughly 600,000 soldiers, according to the Pentagon, and has turned to hired mercenaries from Cuba and other countries for manpower. An axis of U.S. adversaries are now helping Russia. Iran sent personnel and drones. China lent much-needed financial support, and North Korea sent munitions. The U.S. is still trying to figure out what Kim Jong-un thinks he's getting out of this deal, and fear it could include Russian expertise to help build out his nuclear program.
It's been concerning. Certainly this development, this willingness of Kim to literally put skin in the game here.
And Margaret joins us now. So you mentioned this axis of adversaries. How significant is it?
It's very significant to see America's adversaries working together, basically to fill in all the gaps for Russia created by those Western sanctions and potentially to help it win in this land grab in Ukraine. This is going to set, Nora, a precedent, one that the next president of the United States will have to deal with. In the short term, North Korea is already the most sanctioned country in the world. The White House plans more of them and to surge more weapons to Ukraine in these final weeks of the Biden administration.
Margaret Brennan, thank you very much.
My bad, y'all. I'm gonna play it like this. You see though, it say NYC making Luigi take the perp walk.
Moscow, where we are now, in February, after interviewing Vladimir Putin. We've watched from the United States as the Biden administration has driven the U.S. ever closer to a nuclear conflict with Russia, the country that possesses the world's largest nuclear arsenal. It has accelerated ever since, and it's reached its apogee so far in the weeks after Trump's election. He's now the president-elect. In that time, just a few weeks ago, the Biden administration, American military personnel, launched missiles into mainland Russia and killed at least a dozen Russian soldiers. So we are, unbeknownst to most Americans, in a hot war with Russia, an undeclared war, a war you did not vote for and that most Americans don't want, but that is ongoing. And because of that war, because of the fact that the U.S. military is killing Russians in Russia right now, we are closer to nuclear war than at any time in history. Far closer than we were during the Cuban Missile Crisis. That would mean the elimination of Russia, the United States, and most of the rest of the world. We felt there must be someone behind the scenes in Washington working to make sure that this conflict doesn't become a nuclear holocaust. But we found out that no, in fact, there is nobody. Tony Blinken, the current Secretary of State, cut off all contact between the U.S. and Russian governments. There is no back channel, there is no conversation, there hasn't been for more than 2 years. That's shocking. Meanwhile, most Americans have no access to any perspective other than that granted to them by NBC News and the New York Times. They don't know how close we are. They don't know the Russian perspective. We've been trying for over a year to get that perspective out to American news consumers. We've also tried for over a year to get an interview with Zelensky, the president of Ukraine. We've attacked that from a bunch of different angles. We've spoken to a lot of different people around him, had dinner with them. We've been in talks continuously, and those efforts have been thwarted by the U.S. government. The American embassy in Kiev, which our tax dollars pay for, told the Zelensky government, no, you may not do the interview. You can talk to CNN, you can't talk to us. So we've been unable to speak to him. So we came back to Moscow yesterday to interview the foreign minister of Russia, Sergei Lavrov, the longest serving foreign minister in the world. He's been a part of this government for 25 years. He's been in the diplomatic corps for over 40. And ask him, where exactly are we? Are we headed toward an unprecedented conflict between Russia and the United States? Is there any way to peel Russia back from the east, from the sphere of China, back into the west? Is that alliance permanent? And does the election of Donald Trump mean an end to this war, which is reshaping the world, the U.S. economy, the global economy, and risking the life of every person on this planet? Is that possible? We just walked out of that interview. It's absolutely fascinating. It's coming very soon. We hope you'll watch.
Did you guys hear about the 900 people in Sweetwater, Florida that had to evacuate their homes by May of next year? The city said it's going to bulldoze a mobile home community and build condos there, and the people are upset.
And new tonight, hundreds of people living at a South Florida mobile home park will have to find somewhere else to stay. Letters were posted on their doors today saying that they have to move out by May.
Imagine getting a letter of eviction on your door right before it was Christmas, right? And then you have to figure out where your new home is going to be. These people are upset because they were never given any type of warning whatsoever. Now, here's the crazy thing, y'all. They started an incentive program for the people. So the earlier they move out of the community, they get more money. You see, and if they move out by January 31st, they get $14,000. I mean, I get it. You're being kicked out of your home, but $14,000, yeah, you can get another home right now. You literally can get, and as of March, you'll get $7,000. April, you'll get $3,000. But nonetheless, the people have until the beginning of May to be out of the mobile homes.
Not okay. You're throwing us out.
Emotions are high.
I don't know what's going to happen. And I'm by myself. I'm alone. I don't have anybody.
And just to let you know, they're not the only ones moving out of Florida. There's a lot of people leaving the state of Florida because, like, insurance is not paying out anymore. Things are getting a lot more expensive. The animals. But yeah, there's a lot going on, y'all. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Let's continue to get...
breaking news here tonight across Europe, really sending shockwaves as people were heading out to weekend plans, potentially going to many of these Christmas markets that have popped up, really all across the continent that are very popular around this time of year. And tonight, instead of seeing that, this is the scene at one of those markets in Germany. This was earlier tonight. We know that there are reports that we are still following right now of a car reportedly driving into one of those crowds at a market. This, as we are seeing more and more ambulances arrive on site, more police arrive on site. There's no confirmation just yet as to how many people potentially could be wounded after this car. But you can imagine the extent of the damage that would likely occur in this type of situation. Local media reports that a driver was taken into custody and that this person had been driving at a high speed toward the town hall, plowing into the crowd, and local police are also calling this an extensive investigation. They have closed down the city center where that Christmas market is. And I want to bring up a map. We can show you exactly where this took place in Germany. This is in the eastern German city of Magdeburg. It's about 2 hours from Berlin. And the events tonight are also triggering painful memories from the past. In 2016, this is the scene when a car, it was a truck actually, plowed into a crowd at another Christmas market in Berlin, killing 12 people. And then a 13th person died about 5 years later, showing that even though people could be killed in an event like this, the long-standing injuries could last years.
People in different areas of the country have raised some concerns about drone sightings. Jessica Dill joins us now with what we're learning about the sightings that continue to pop up, and now here in Ohio.
That's right. Pat, Christy, good morning. People have been reporting these clusters of drone-like objects flying low in the night sky, but very little information has been released about that. They've been seen in New York and New Jersey. Now, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Dayton has been affected. Yesterday, the base confirmed their airspace was closed down for 4 hours on Friday night and early Saturday because of small unmanned aerial systems being spotted in the vicinity. Wright-Patterson officials say these systems ranged in different shapes and sizes. Drones or suspected drones have been flying over military installations recently, causing alarm. Officials have been reassuring people that military installations are able to detect and respond to drones, and security personnel are trained to identify them. They say so far none have been aligned with a foreign actor or pose a national security or public threat. In Dayton, Wright-Patterson's public affairs chief says something like this has never happened before at the base, but there appears to be no safety concern.
It was overnight, so there was no air operations affected at this point. Installation leadership has determined that none of the incursions impacted our base residents, our facilities, or our assets.
Well, they are.